Okay, I thought I'd show a simple way of stabilizing handle material, wooden handle material, for knife making. This isn't the method that I normally use, but it's pretty easy and anybody can do it and it'll give you pretty good results. I've got a couple scales here. I'll take the rubber bands off. I'm going to treat these two scales. Now these are book matched sets. So I want to keep them together. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to mark them. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. I'm just going to put a number 1 on both pieces on this one. Number 2 on both pieces on that one. I have this largemouth or wide mouth mason jar, and it's about half full already of the Minwax wood hardener. This is the stuff that I use. I use it with my regular method too. My regular method is I have a pressure cooker, a large pressure cooker that I've rigged so that I can suck it with a vacuum pump. Then I pressurize it, and then I suck another vacuum, and I'll let it sit like that for a week or so. And what that'll do is it'll take all the air out of the wood, and that air, where the air was, it'll draw the hardener into it. So when you take it out, it'll have that resin all through it, and it'll make them stable. So get them into the mason jar like that. Let me see if I can fit a third one in there. See if I can get a third one in there. Oh, it doesn't look like I can. No, I won't be able to, so I'll take that one back out. I'll have to treat this one right off so that doesn't seal the outside and make it hard, but I won't worry about that quite yet. Alright, so with the two in there, take some more wood hardener and I'll fill it right up so that they're covered. Now they're going to float a little bit, but that's alright. They'll sink once I get the air out of them. Take that lid, I'll just lightly put that on. I'll put that in this pot and add some water. Okay, now this wood hardener is flammable and it has a lot of vapors. It's not very good for you. So I wouldn't recommend doing this if you have a gas or any kind of a heat source with flames. But this little electric burner here, this little electric hot plate works pretty good. So I'll get that going, and now it's just like canning. I'm going to bring that water up to temperature, and that'll bring the hardener up to temperature. Then I'll take it out of there when it's warm, and it'll seal just like canning. Okay, the water's getting close to boiling now. And the hardener in the jar is getting pretty warm also, so almost ready. I don't want to bring it up to a boil because I don't want to make a mess. Like I said, this is just floating on here. It's just sitting there, so any steam or whatever that it might make, any pressure, can be released for now. In just a minute, I'm going to pull that out, set it on the counter, and tighten the lid up, and then it'll seal as it cools down, just like I said, just like canning food. I said this stuff is flammable. It's, I don't know, it has warnings not to breathe it, everything else. Some people I've read do this in their microwave. I would never recommend it, but if that's what you have for a heat source, then I guess, you know, take the microwave outside and try it. I have no idea what your results are going to be. Could be bad, I don't know. This method here has worked just fine for me. Find a hot plate. I said you can use your stove inside, but just keep in mind that if that tips over, spills, whatever, you could have a real problem. So this is the way I would recommend doing it. Just a minute, like I said, I'm going to pull that out. See if I can grab it. It's pretty warm. I didn't bring it to a boil. I think I mentioned this. So I don't want the hardener to boil. I don't know at what temperature it is boiling, but I can see right now it's forming a lot of bubbles inside. I'm actually going to take it out now. Tighten it right up. I'll unplug that. Okay, I wanted to show one other thing. You see I number these. This is number 2. That's because in the method that I use, I put those jars in the pressure cooker. I can do, I think, 8 of them at a time. And so because I do different woods all in the same batch, I can make a list of what I'm doing and what jar it's in, and that way I have everything all marked properly when I'm all done treating it. So these will seal themselves. I'm going to let them do their thing, and a couple of weeks I'll pull them out and I'll have 2 good knife handles ready to go. Thanks for watching.